This is warm alkaline water.
Today is a super conscious moment in time where I introduce to you a phenomenal being, or he is just a phenomenon. Mr. Alexander Maseko, aka Lex Stays Liquid, the conscious divergent. He is an entrepreneur, MC, and creator and producer of the 72-hour full moon water only fast, which is something I took part in last month. And all I can say is that it was super transformational. He is extraordinary light and has so much energy and passion for helping the world wake up to their greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming Lex.
I'm going to give myself a round of applause.
Amazing, bro. How are you?
I'm great. So I'm just trying to fix the lighting quickly so that you guys can see. I'm within my 144 hours, 6 days, water only full moon fast. So today's the day the other beings of light join me. Other beings who are just looking to heal themselves and to actually just, be the light that they see as like you, Mr. Mind Power. Wow, what can I say about you? But please.
Welcome to Luke's Mind Power podcast, bro. It's a blessing to have you here, man. It's been a blessing to actually be connected with you over the last couple of months. For me moving forward with my continuous growth journey. And we connected through Instagram, which was amazing. And again, it was the universe talking and speaking through energy. And it was really powerful. The fact that we don't know each other, but I went on some post looking at different ways that I could improve myself, that I could get more in tune with, my flow. And somehow I posted something on a post and you saw it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, man, I've learned a lot from you. I really resonate with a lot of the things that you talk about, but I have to say that you're one of a kind. I mean, as we are all, but the way that you speak is really profound. It's very distinctive. And I know that a lot of people out there who would listen to the way that you articulate your words could actually be afraid of the power that you hold within what you believe in and how you express it. Where does that come from, man? Where did you get this knowledge, and who have you been listening to?
Ooh, I was excited, but now I'm even more excited because right now I've got an empty vessel. Okay, first and foremost, that's where the confidence came from, even more so, because the law of attunement, my law of attunement, which you are now practicing, my God self, because I can see your God self. All of my points, I call it the crystalline Trinity. No more holy, no more Bible stuff, no more, because that now puts people in a box. I've been getting people who are this religion, that whatever, atheist, whatever, saying, what are you doing? Whether it be the way I practice my African soil Tai Chi, they don't know what that is. It doesn't exist. I am creating, sir. I asked before I got onto this journey for specifics. I asked the universe, not just the universe, my higher self. I asked God, whatever it is that when you're not attuned to your purpose is what you ask. You go deep and you really have those moments, even though you're not really knowing what you're doing, you get to those points where you're asking yourself or asking, what am I doing? And when you really ask yourself, you find yourself. When you allow it, when you release, when you drop off, when you cleanse, when you continuously honor yourself, which is what I managed to ground in the fasting method. Funny enough, I mean, the testimonies are wild. So to kick it off, I had to first go inside, and then from there, although I had always known I was going to be destined for something or whatever the case may be, I did not know to what degree or depths, and how beautiful everything around me that I already had, you know, family, small things, warm place, the ability to talk, to connect, you know, our connection. This is priceless. Without this there, where would you be? And this is now the unity consciousness, which has now become a theme. So I started off just getting this energy by searching, but my searching is relentless. It's to the point where I was looking for wisdom through masters which weren't available physically. You know, once again, internet. And since I'm tech savvy, in Africa, in a world where right here, my world here, it's very tough. It's Fort Knox. Everybody is corrupt, which is another topic which we can get into a bit later. But I've incarnated in a place where either you strive to become, or you will become a statistic. You choose. So I had to make a choice also, regardless of the privilege, because we also talk about privilege, because I'm equating your question to where I'm at and how I got to the point where I'm like, yes, I've got this confidence, let me get this. You know, family, my pops played for Sundowns in the national team of Zimbabwe. Football player, Alexander Maseko, the cool ruler, that's his name, check him up. And he's doing things now, still to this day, which is helping people's lives, which is, you know, so that figure in my whole life, I've seen higher level gentlemen only treat women like this, boom, boom. I've never seen him ever lay his hand on my mother, none of that other stuff, which is happening here. Hashtag stop killing our women, for example, which is another campaign which I'm doing, which is not even getting any eyes, which is scary. It's another topic, you know. However, then you look at the mom side. My mother taught me unconditional love from the jump. As I, you know, from birth, within the womb. I mean, that's where mom's love starts. What she eats, how she walks, how she rests. This is all energetics. It's vibration. It's love, unconditional, you know. And in that, there, I was able to do all of this. You know, even though I went through my own ups and downs, yeah, we go through our shit, whatever. That's cool. But the real man is the man who comes out on top, not just for himself, but saying, let's go, you know, because that's what the world needs, especially right now. So, you know, to get back to your question, after giving you a beautiful intro, I was searching for purpose. And in searching for purpose, I found myself. And now I don't doubt anything. I'm merged with higher self. So everything I do is intent. Everything around me is intent. And it's beautiful. It's fifth dimensional. I see different colors. My eyesight has gotten better. You see, my teeth keep getting whiter. It's wild. My skin it's like it's glowing, but it's not even, there's no oil, nothing on this thing. It's small things like that, cosmetically, but I don't even care about the cosmetics. What it's done for my services now, I don't call it, you know, you said entrepreneur. I used to be that a few months ago. I'm not an entrepreneur anymore. I'm a man of service. Because in service, the gift of giving means I'm living in the present Zuzu, which is my law of attunement. So everything is me being in a state of being. I'm walking everything that I'm doing. So it's
powerful
beautiful
stuff, man. So
yeah.
Just to give you an example, right? When I started researching myself and keeping myself motivated, getting enlightened, focusing on
Yes,
on personal growth and you know, keeping myself in that high vibe state, I was listening a lot to Les Brown, for example. So who do you listen to?
Okay, this is quite interesting. So this is a bit of warm water with alkaline powder, because since I'm going 144, I want to make sure that my internal is balanced.
So for anyone who's on
Even though
a
it's,
podcast right now and who's listening to this audio, they can't see you on the video because this is going to go
yes,
on YouTube. Lex is drinking a warm water with in a cup He's still on his fast. So just so you're aware of what he's talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of listening to, should I take you from the beginning when I started listening? Because things have obviously evolved.
Yeah, look,
as
I know it, man. I used to listen to Les Brown. Then it went to, who else was there? Then it went to Tom Bilyeu, Impact Theory. Then it went to Lewis Howes School of Greatness podcast. I listened to a lot of episodes on there. Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn. The names can go on, you know. And
yes.
yeah, as you grow, you kind of get in tune with other spiritual leaders or entrepreneurs or motivational speakers, whatever, and you feel the different connection. So yeah, take us into that world, man, because obviously I know that I've grown a lot from people who I've listened to, and I've taken bits and pieces, like you say, you know, planting the seeds or taking whatever you feel resonates with you, and then, you know, using that for your own awareness and expression.
Indeed. This is beautiful. Thank you for this question once again. In terms of listening, for me, as someone who searched, I've always listened to those who have achieved or have done what it is that I see. Okay. So to kick it off, it started off with watching simple things like movies. Even though it's not like a speaker or whatever, it's still suggestible. Okay. So when I started getting into this suggestibility, I was in the realm of finance was around me, obviously still IT. So I was looking at things like Think and Grow Rich. Around that time, what's this movie? With Leonardo DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street. I was into that there, and that state of mind where, you know, you have to really attract and be immersed physically hard, you know, moving the path. And, you know, that's where I started with that sort of stuff. Okay. And then I moved into more, let's say, mystical. So then I started to listen to more teachers. So you'd go into, what's her name? The Esther Hicks or
Abraham Hicks. Yep.
Yes. That started really unlocking me to the next level.
Yeah, powerful stuff.
But the way that Abraham delivers is more for, I think, the generation just before us. The things didn't really keep me there. Like halfway through the video, I'm like, I kind of know what you're gonna say, and lo and behold, you know, that's what is said. And then I moved on to, you know, people like celebrities. I love what is his name again? Yo, I've got so much information here for you, brother. Just give me a second.
The Rock.
Ooh. Denzel Washington.
Denzel's good.
Hey, Mr. Denzel Washington, beautiful being also. He's also got a few of these, like there's 5-minute clips here and there where they motivate, or they're giving a speech to the old university, whatever. So he's got a few of those, and also you can see his story and how he went through things and how he made it through things. For example, Jay-Z in the music industry, you know, I love music. That's another aspect of me, which I denied also. But once I started listening to all of these things, it started awakening all of these aspects of me, which are our whole. Because after all, Mr. Mind Power, we're not mind power all the time. Whether people love to believe it or not, you can't be strong mind power every time. That's exhausting. I cannot be Lex Stays Liquid 24/7, 365. I will get tired. I will exhaust myself. And also creation says be wild. Normal, let me not even say normal, that's a label. If we can say divine God source creation allows you the energy to create, but be wild, don't hold it. Because once you gap it, you get blockages, and that's what you have to first clear from the cleanse. Get rid of it, drop it off. Because then you attuned to moving smoothly, ebb and flow, cycles. We're now cyclical. So listening to all of these speakers, who else can I give you? There's so many. Who else can I?
So, you know, I mean, there's so many amazing people out there, and I think it's brilliant that we have an abundance, that word abundance of information available to us.
Yes, myself.
And that's why I really believe that, you know, in a time of, you know, being able to access information that we have available to us, you know, ignorance is bliss, you know, to not open your mind to accessing more information so that you can understand yourself better. And that's the power that we have right now,
In
man.
a stand, sir. In a stand.
Take note of
Stand.
Lex's vocabulary, because he manipulates the words and he changes the game, man. That's what he is.
Spells.
But Lex, tell me about Lex Stays Liquid. First it was Lex Stays Fit. Now it's Lex Stays Liquid. Then I also noticed on your bio you changed it to the Conscious Divergent. What does that mean?
Luke, you know exactly the perfect things to ask, but I don't want to utilize the spell perfect, because once again, what is perfect? I can wait even for someone to answer, because that does not exist. Perfection is a label. Okay? I had a label and I thought I was perfect. The ego mind is very sneaky. Once again, my shadow self, once again, even though my levels perceive to that being on that side there, watching this, listening, bless you, and you also on your own journey, but these are realizations of my attunement, my clarity. I've become so clear that that subtle bit, someone would be like, no, you're thinking too much or whatever. Bypass them. I dissolved my ego there. The crown, the corona of my ego was labeled entrepreneur, Lex Stays Fit. I'm more than just an entrepreneur. I'm more than just a label. I'm more than just Lex Stays Fit. You see me, I'm fit all round, but that's not the thing. It's not my be all and end all. I'm a man of service. What I'm grounding is powerful. What I'm doing to assist beings unbeknownst to me, it just kicked off as just me saying, hey, let's fast, hey, you know, being already within my heart space, you know, and in that there, I don't even recognize Lex, but that is how you identify me. Otherwise, I mean, I'm communicating with extraterrestrials, man, higher beings, radiant, as in humanoid in form. Some of them tall as shit, some of them, but the energy, the power, the grace, the wisdom, and the ease is, we don't know anything here on earth right now. We've been brainwashed, man. Life is beautiful. There doesn't have to be disease, dis-ease, as in famine, poverty, poor. That's labels.
Yeah, bro. That's another topic that's really powerful. I truly believe.
So did I blow your mind quickly, Mr. Mind Power?
Always, man. You're always spinning fire. So you talk a lot about dissolving the ego, and I'm very aware of my ego as well. Do you think that there could be a part of you that, by saying that you've dissolved your ego, that's actually your ego and you're unaware of it?
Of course it is.
You're completely saying, I know who the hell I am. I'm in control and I am love and I'm pure consciousness, right? And so that's not a part of me. And so you're completely, you know, detaching yourself and saying, I got this, right? So in that can also be seen as, hang on, man, you think, you know, you're playing with your ego right there.
Hey, well done. You see, you also attune to higher things. Okay? My mind and my ego, or spirit, okay?
Yep.
Boom. They joined always. It's about the awareness of the other or not that makes it present.
Mm.
I'm aware of it. Hence why when you say that, I'm like, yeah, it's still there. You cannot completely eradicate it, but you can dissolve it.
Mm.
Listen to the lyrics, listen to the spelling. I'll wait.
Powerful stuff.
He's not dead. He's not gone. He's dissolved.
Love it. Love it. It comes back to awareness, man, and being completely in, you know, as you say, in attunement, in alignment, connected with your spiritual self and your higher self. And then you know who the hell you are, right? And that's where the game changer is. But tell me about shadow working. You mentioned that as well. And I know a lot of people may be listening and they're like, what the hell's shadow working? What the hell is being aware of your shadows?
Okay, that's beautiful. Actually, I've just activated an actual service because of the amount of beings that are saying, I really want to get inside my shadows. Okay, so to kick you off with this one, once again, thank you for the question, Mr. Mind Power. This is beautiful. I feel like I'm in Harry Potter or something. Oh, Harry! It's beautiful.
Man, my accent's not that bad, right? I know you're always impersonating me, and I'm like, Mr. Mind Power. I don't even sound like that, but I'm probably due on your side.
No,
But
no,
it's
no,
okay.
no, no, no. That's not your accent. That's his accent. My, you know.
I know it's so
Um.
good, man.
Okay, so wait, where were we now? You see
So
now this energy.
tell me about shadow work, and then I want to ask you about how you went through your journey of, you know, being an MC, being in the clubs, being open to that kind of environment, because, you know, that's where most people want to be. Like, they want to have the parties, they want to have the girls, all that kind of life, you know. So I was there for a while, but yeah, tell us about shadow work.
Okay, let me kick off with shadow work. So shadow work is basically. Let me give you guys a lovely analogy so that you can enjoy this story. All right. Picture this behind me. What's this? This is a shadow, right? It moves just like you, but it's not in time with you. So what shadow work is, it's getting to the point where you're looking at each and every single mishap, mistake, trauma, indoctrination, programming, whatever it is that hinders you from being you. In the system, it says you have to be X, Y, Z. That's false straight truth. All of this jazz. When you can look at those levels, or demons, I call them, shadows of self, because it's not you. It's built over X, Y, Z.
Mm.
Okay? So you have to go through these levels, boxing them. Round one, let's go. Okay? But the funny thing is you know the combinations of majority of these rounds. These shadows you've boxed with, but you're just so far gone. Like, you're like level one, but like, boom, inside. You've been getting beat up every single time on that level, that you've accepted it and conformed into your ego mind, hence becomes your shadow self. You've been hurt, you've been scarred by lovers. 1, 2, 3 now. Now you put up a wall. Fuck it, my heart's closed. Gook, gook. That is a shadow of you. This version now of you is a shadow. You are truly love, but you know, that there has made you closer. So that's a trauma. Boom. Betrayal, whatever the case may be. Indoctrination, what they told you, and then you get presented with information. Maybe you read something where someone tells you, where you continuously see things, and you're like, but this is not true. Everything that they told me is bullshit. And you joust with yourself. Oh, you've been fed is like, whoa, contradictory. Okay. And in that there, you start to either run away from yourself more, popping pills, taking drugs, boop, having a bit of a drink too much. Maybe you working and you got a nice job, you got family, boom, boom, you're in that scenario. But you have to keep it together. You don't have time for counseling. You don't have life is going. Oh, fuck it. You know, it's real. This is what happens. Because we are conditioned, even as men, to put your feelings down. The system, put it down, because you need to work now. Your feelings don't give a shit. First, get me money. That's the old world that's dead and gone. It does not exist. Because it's utilized, innocence, a good spirit, because all of us that eventually leave our lovely, I call them our purposes, things that you're drawn to, for example, public speaking or creative things, you know, painting, whatever, acting, whatever, music, and you put that to the wayside for a system which you're in a slave mill, you're getting pushed out to fulfill labels. What you got to do in life is already there for you. Fill the gap, choose. But I don't fit that. You become a or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny, Lex. I was
whatever.
actually listening to my recent podcast episode that I released, and I was actually talking about the same thing. And I was questioning, you know, like there is this rule book, right? There's this rule book that we have to follow, that we have to live by. And then I started laughing because I was in the gym and I was listening to myself speak, and I started laughing because I was like, yeah, show me this rule book. Where is it? You know, I haven't seen it anywhere, but somehow everybody's following it, right?
It's wild, eh? It's wild. Now we're questioning it. Now watch. The people with ego minds probably listening to this or watching this are going to be like, yeah, but we've got to conform to a system. The key word there is conform. You've dumbed yourself down, not even you, because now it's you doing the rest. They started with indoctrination. So you are used to having blockages or construct in school. No, this is the right answer. That's the wrong one. You must think like this. Don't think like that. Or if you think like that, you're wild. What? So now they've organized your train of neurons to believe exactly what they've already put in your mind. So every information you get, you'll grasp it with that frame of mind. That's where I was. That's where all of us were at one stage, you know. And then I'll jump into the partying, the MCing side of life.
Bro, what was the pinnacle? What was that catalyst or epiphany moment for you where you were in that life, you were loving it, you were enjoying yourself every weekend, you were partying, your ego was like, yes, I'm the shit. This is who I am, you know. And then you just had this moment and somehow you managed to shift your direction and it's got you to where you are now. What was that moment? How did that happen?
In terms of the moments, like I said, I had jolts, boop, 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 boop. Multiple jolts, but not just, you know, part of your awakening, like every day, hey, but I would say about 3 major jolts, okay? The first one, I won't get into details of the first one, but this was 2014, 2015, around there. It was like, and then the information I had, as I've been saying, and what I knew, or I became cognitively dissonant. So cognitive dissonance is where you presented with the truth, like the universal truth, but your belief or your way of looking at it is maybe this way or that way. And you're like, what? And then you get angry or you fight it or you project because, oh, I don't believe in that. It's wild. But yeah, I had cognitive dissonance. I was angry at myself only after the fact of being angry at I don't know what, which still doesn't make sense to this day, but now it makes higher observational sense. The second one was, I'm not going to mention it, but it's one of my exes.
But it's crazy. Like, I'm resonating with what you're saying. You know what I mean? But I think about it, and let's say whether you call these people unconscious, or you say that they're sleeping, or whatever it is, but let's put it in layman terms where it's more understandable, right? And it's like, well, you're just at a different part of your life. You just matured, Lex. And nothing happened. You didn't wake up. You just got older, and you realized what was more important to you in your life. That's pretty much what happened, right?
I mean, if you want to keep it third dimensional, sure, that's it.
I know, bro,
but if you want to keep it strictly 3D, I grew into myself.
Yeah, that's what people would say. They would say that, as you get older, you mature, and so you start becoming wiser, and you make better decisions.
Exactly. Yeah, no, for sure, you're right. Because other aspects, even of myself, as yourself, will not understand what is going on here.
Again, but that's ignorant, and it's people in denial.
Yeah. But once again, we're not here to put judgment.
No,
so what
absolutely.
I'm saying, basically, what Luke is saying, and Luke is saying, what I'm saying is that I didn't just grow up. I looked at myself, at what each and every aspect of myself, and I questioned: is this really who I am? Is this where I want to be? The people around me, am I really supporting them? Am I in support? Plus, also growing up in a harsh land, Africa, but it's either you choose this way or you go this way. There's no in between. In between are literally the people that are just getting into work and doing their thing, and they're having a successful life, marriage, kid, whatever, and they're just living that one. The straight and narrow. Boom. I'm not that. I've never been a straight and narrow. I've always been extraordinary, even throughout growing up. I've been teachers saying, dude, you've got so much potential. I got sick and tired of hearing the word potential. It's like, stop it. Fuck. It's here already. And also that there has been catalysts. Even family. Dude, your potential. Woo. You know what you could do with that? And for someone else who is perceived not potentialing their own potential, it was profound at that stage. It resonated a lot. But first and foremost, when you get cognitive dissonance, you have resistance. I was like, what the fuck? No? Why are they saying this? I've got it. It's here. Ego mind. Boom, boom. Pushing itself right up front. Blocking my sight. My sight. Not 2020 vision. 2020 is about the year of sight. Open your eye. And that's what I did. But, to bring it back down to third dimensional, grounding, to physical beings who just know about the walls that they stand in. That's also fine. That's okay. I was there. We were all there. It's awakening. Once again, you go levels. So in that day, it's more about, I didn't want to be in this room only with four walls. I was sick and tired of being in the same room with four walls. So I broke out of that.
Yeah, I think it's powerful when we think about these experiences of other people seeing potential in us and we're not recognizing it. There isn't that self-belief or that self-connection or that self-actualization, that self-realization of who we are. And people are just being humble and honest about it when they speak it. But when I can say something to someone and say, man, you've got a lot of potential, or you're really amazing, it's nice, but that's all it is. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't live, with that consciousness and that spiritual connection to, loving yourself. And so I know this because I experienced it. there were so many times when I used to work in my previous jobs, and people would say, you should do this. You'd be a really good manager. And I would always dismiss it. I would say, nah, you know, that's not me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that, whatever, you know. And that was just it was a low vibe. I was living on a low vibration, you know. So that takes me back to what you were talking about indoctrination, about programming, about conditioning, about being unconscious, right? Because everything that is low vibrational, because it keeps you in a tunnel and you can't see outside, you know. And so I understand where you're coming from, man. And it's crazy shit, you know, because when you get out of that tunnel, you know, man, you can see a lot, bro. You can see a lot.
It's
but
wild.
yeah,
it's
but
wild.
I'm listening to you, bro. And even though I know that you know who you are, I'm excited for you, because I see your potential, even though I don't need to tell you that, and you don't need to hear it from me because you know who you are. But I'm telling you that I can see, if you've come this far from where you were, man, the next 5 years for you, in 5 years' time, where you're going to be is incredible. And I'm excited for you for that, man, because there's a lot of work, there's a lot of self-realization, there's a lot of self-investment that is required for you to get yourself into that power place, right?
Thank you, sir.
And I know this because I'm living and breathing it. And for my own journey, as a reflection, I can see so many aspects of myself in what you're doing and how you're investing your energy. And it's not easy for everyone to be able to be in that kind of an experience, or even awareness to go, hey, I'm going to step back. I'm going to protect my energy. I'm going to hold myself, appreciate myself, and I'm going to cleanse myself. I'm going to unwrap or heal or really, really take and harness my power so that I can explode and be the light, you know, because everybody, otherwise you're dimming your light, right? Because it's really dark. You're living on that low vibe and you don't know who you are. So yeah, man, I can see a lot for you, man. It's amazing. And it's exciting because, you know, I'm doing my own thing as well.
You're a part of it, man. You're a part of it. I mean, look at you. Let's not dumb you down. At the end of the day, your journey is awesome. We're going to speak about the law of attunement, but we'll get into that, you know, later. It's just, you can also maybe speak a little bit on this, is what happens when you really go inside, when you can face that voice that says, go and eat. No, eat now. And you defeat it. That is the catalyst to you defeating anything and everything within your being. Tell us about that. I mean, that is where, if any being listening to this wants to just start to go inside, it's your hunger. It's primal.
Yeah, man. It's interesting you mentioned, because I wanted to talk to you about the fasting method, because a friend of mine showed me Dr. Sebi. I don't know if you've heard of Dr. Sebi, but
of course, yes.
He was killed for, I believe, the information that he was spitting to the earth. And again, I really believe in his teachings. And one of his teachings was that if you have a disease and you fast and you only drink water and you don't consume anything, your body will heal itself.
Boom.
And as soon as I heard that, you know, and then as soon as I was going on my own personal health journey about 3 or 4 months ago, already in my mind, I was so connected with myself that I was like, if I have a dis-ease, I'm not taking any medication. I'm not putting any chemicals or doing any radiation or something like that. I will basically not stop eating, because my body, I am the best doctor for myself. Yeah, bro, I know.
Wow, look at this. Look at this.
Let me tell you, bro, that's crazy. We're just looking at the video, and Lex just put up 8-8. And while he was speaking about 30 minutes ago, it was 3:33 p.m. in Sydney. And I was going to interrupt you, but I didn't want to interrupt you because I wanted you to continue speaking. But it's a powerful number, triple three. So, but yeah, just going back to talking about, health is your wealth. And I learned that you are your best doctor while I was living in the Shaolin Temple. So I truly believe that your body is a incredible organism that is continuously on the daily basis refueling you. It's fixing itself every day. And it's really about the consciousness of humans to actually feed yourself with the right fuel, to understand yourself. And that's where we are not in a place of attunement, right? We are in a lack of understanding, a lack of awareness, a lack of consciousness, because again, we do not love ourselves. We are not connected with our soul. We don't appreciate ourselves. We would rather put shit into our body for a temporary good feeling, and then eventually your body will get sick of it. And it's not only food that you consume, it's negative energy, it's stress. That builds up over
beautiful one. Stress.
Yeah, man, it builds up over time, and eventually your body can take a lot. Like, your body is so incredible, but eventually your body will say, I've had enough, I'm sick now. And then what do? You go get chemo, you take tablets, you stay on medication. Man, I just believe it. That's just something that I believe, man. And when you said you're doing a water fast, I was like, bro, I'm on. And bang, it switched me on like a light switch. Easier, right? It was the awareness of the ego. It was the awareness of harnessing your power and saying, no, my body has everything under control, and the ego is trying to take your power, trying to take your power away. And so that's the food. I realized not only that when I was in China, that I'm so grateful for food. When you don't have much, you are very grateful for it. When you have a lot, you're not grateful for it. You don't appreciate it. You don't acknowledge it. You not even aware what you're doing. You're completely unconscious because you're living in a paradigm of habitual behavior on a daily basis. And you're just eating because you're hungry. You feel the hunger. And so bing, bing, you get these, requests in your mind, and you go, okay, I got to eat. And all it is ego, and it's comfort. And everyone wants to be comfortable. Everyone wants to feel safe. It's safety. If I don't eat, I'm not safe. If I don't eat, I'm not comfortable. Everyone wants to be in their comfort zone. And this is where you really grow and ascend and transform. And that's why Lex is so powerful, because he continues to practice this. Repetition is the mother of school. And he does this every month. That's why he's so connected with himself, because he practices it. It's not something you do once a month and then you talk about it 12 months later that it's changed your life and you keep doing it. It's the same thing with me, with my morning routines and what I do on a daily basis, my positive affirmations, the way that I speak to myself every day. It's taken me 2 years to grow this kind of confidence, and me speaking to myself in the mirror, me having conversations with myself, verbalizing it when I'm confused, when I'm not sure what's going on. And I start, Luke, what do you think about that? Right? I'm okay to center myself, come back and come back to the present moment and actually communicate with myself. And that's where the power's at. And that's something that you have to practice, because a lot of people will go, as if you speak to yourself, what's that going to do for you? Right? As if you tell yourself that you love yourself or that you believe in yourself or that you're amazing. Oh yeah, what's that going to do? What it does over...
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Bro, over 2 years, when you practice this every single day, right, you regain your confidence, you regain your power, you take your power back, you connect with your spirit, you connect with your soul, you become extraordinary. That's what happens. But it looks crazy from the outside. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. It does. Thank you. Finally, you touched on another point. There's people who've been calling me crazy. That's fine, because that means that we're telling the truth. If you look in history, everybody that's been deemed crazy is now a hero. Look at Tesla. They're utilizing, not even, the disclosures that are going to come out, let me not even get into that, of technology that's available to us, let alone consciousness being the human being's biggest, greatest technology ever hidden from man. That's why they keep this lower vibe. This is a transceiver. Not just this. You marry your body, mind, spirit within the law of attunement. You've got networks in here, not just your third eye within the middle of we call it the pineal gland, okay? You've got your claustrum. You've got a whole network in here that gives you discernment, higher discernment. And funny story is, corona means crown, opening of the top eye. It's another great paradox, which I have utilized. I utilize the great paradox to gain more wisdom. So in every perceived lower vibe or negative lesson, losses for those who are not attuned to themselves, whichever lesson, so you're taking the L in life or loss, you choose. So I take the lessons. Okay? You got me there?
Yeah, bro.
When I take the lessons, I'm able to crystallize the information. So now when I crystallize the information, it's part of the being. With an empty vessel, you do this even quicker. You have your gut, which is another brain. Gut feeling, oh, it doesn't feel right. Ooh, ooh, oh, that doesn't taste right. Ooh, ooh. Oh, 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 oh. That's your gut. Your gut is sending signals of telepathy within yourself, firstly, to your other neurons, your other networks, which is gut. Then you got your magnetosphere, heart. Your heart is where the toroidal field begins and ends. It is the alpha, it is the omega. Blood, energy, waves, movement, rhythms. You feel me? So once this is married, your gut is clear, everything is firing, and you're grounded in nature. You're utilizing now elements, which is what I do. I bend elements. Grounding in nature, that's earth. Through the body on a full moon cleanse, that is water. Fire, you are burning physically what it is by fire, cremating that which no longer serves, limiting beliefs, fear-based programming, whatever the case may be. Boom, by air, oxygen, breath. Breath work. Hey, come. And then the fifth element, spirit, will. I want to get rid of this. I am. Affirmations. You're pulling all of this together to utilize the elements and transform yourself, alchemize your cells to being attuned to the fifth dimensional earth grid, which is available energetically. You can't attune, you cannot attune to higher things, such as, whether you believe it or not, once again, whoever's listening or watching, it's a non-factor. Because it's happening with or without you. Mr. Mind Power is now attuned to his own soul code, his own. That's why he's expanding so much. That's why perceived from outside, he looks like he's growing. Oh, whoa, whoa, this guy's got energy. What? It's been worked on and been getting attuned. He's, like you said, like me, like Luke Mind Power, like Mr. Wim Hof. Hopefully he watches this. Please watch this, sir, because we are also doing some bigger things ourselves and we want to connect. That's the purpose of being here. And to take it a step further, the connection has been missing, like you're saying. Separation consciousness. It's on this side of the wall, me. On this side, it's the so-and-sos. It's this color, that color. It's this, it's that. It's, it's duality. It's either or, black, white. Come on. The reason I'm wearing black, white, mostly these days, and also my royal blue, this is my aura color. For those of you that can't see aura, if you're watching this, if you're listening, imagine Jasmine, Princess Jasmine, on her magic carpet, but she's wearing a royal blue. Woo. Saturn.
Nice.
Okay. I'm sure that can give you something beautiful to aim at. Okay. But now, this duality does not exist. This is yin and yang. This is masculine and feminine. I've had to marry my feminine side. We all have it. Beings, extraterrestrials, or androgynous. They are not, you really, sometimes with some of the races, you cannot tell. Because once again, that's a limiting belief in their mindset. Once again, consciousness first, transcended, and then the body follows. The vessel follows. So I'm going to leave that there because that's more topics. It's more seeds, and it's probably quite scary for, once again, you know, it's levels.
But it's powerful stuff, man, because I've spoken about this before. I used to think, you know, I can do all this low vibrational lifestyle behaviors, but I can go to the gym and I can feel good, right? I do, as long as I go to the gym, I'm okay. And you know what? That probably saved me because at least I was working my body, right? But everything else was low vibrational, right? And so now that's why I'm in a power place, because I'm putting everything in sync and I'm flowing and I'm connected and it's bliss. You feel
wow.
me?
Thank
you. Feel me?
I feel you. I feel you. I feel
bro.
you. Woo!
But you talk about breath work, bro. I've been doing the breath work for about 2 weeks now. Something I do every single morning. And I do it with Wim Hof as well every morning. And I have to tell you, man, the clarity that I have, the awareness, the power, the energy that I feel now that I'm doing it, it's given me an extra boost. You know, I can sleep for 4 hours or 5 hours and I own the day. I own the day till 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night. And then I sleep and I'm up at 5:30. And so, you know, I've connected that with my meditation and going for a walk after that. And obviously my diet, I'm conscious of what I'm eating and I'm a vegan. So that feels right for me.
Blessings on that one. Well done.
So
blessings. Wow.
But it's, you know, everyone's different. Everyone has the choice. Everyone has to connect with what feels good for them and how much they want to actually be in that flow state and get into that power place. And I love that saying, power place, because a lot of people are not. They may be a power place in their biceps, but the rest of their body is disconnected. You know what I'm saying? And so you mentioned the breath work, man. And if anybody is listening to this, jump on Wim Hof's app on your phones and download it. And the breath work is something that's really phenomenal. And again, you talk about crystallization. I love that word as well, because it's so powerful, man. And that's where you really get into that clarity and purity of yourself, you know? So
yeah, that's my breath work, by the way, also, which is coming out very soon, any day now. I don't work on days. Once again, I'm not in time, but
I don't know what day it is. It's okay. It's another day. It's a blessing. But you know, these names that were given to these points in time or whatever they call it.
It's too much.
You know? Yeah, man. But listen, man, everyone comes from somewhere. I've been through my own challenges. I've been through my own heartaches and relationships and drug abuse and confusion and insecurities and codependencies and disconnection from myself. And it was hard. And it's not easy to fight for your freedom. And so I want to ask you, bro, what is something that has hurt you that you have had to overcome, and that's now your power?
This is a very good question.
What has Lex been through? What kind of trauma? What adversity have you been through?
Okay. Without getting into details or giving names, because that's not my style, you know this. I can give you three different scenarios or different types of grief or trauma.
I
Okay.
think it's really relatable, and the ability to be transparent in a communicative way like this, because there's so many people struggling out there. There's so many people who are confused. There's so many people who are in relationships that they know they shouldn't be in. And I'd mention
Yeah.
relationships because I was in many, and a lot of them were feeding my ego. A lot of them were just so that I
Sonic.
wasn't alone. But more than that, you're working in a job that you hate. You're just doing it because you got to pay the bills. You're not living your
Yeah.
purpose. You're not living your passion, but you're hurting because of something, or you've had someone you've lost someone in your family, or someone's got cancer or disease or whatever it is, whatever's going on in your life right now. How can you help people see the light in where they are right now from your own experiences?
I see you. I see you. I see you, my sir. Let me kick off with what's jolted me, the things, so that I can relate it. And then we can therefore give the seeds or the beans to assist, because after all, that's what we're here for, that's our passion. We love to assist. We men of service, firstly. Before I was a man of service, before I was who I truly am, before I remembered who I truly am, in spirit first, and then grounding into this vessel, into this life, yeah, getting the wisdom and etc. etc. Loss is one lesson which was big. Loss not just of items, because I used to be a big hoarder of items. Loss of people. My first loss was big loss, like real close to me, was my friend Tele Leleka. He passed on 2013. Or was it 08? You see, it's gone now because I've let go and we made peace. I've seen him in other realms and he's good. He's now transcended. But he hung himself after perceived being cool, and he was with another close mate of mine who's like my blood brother. Well, he is my blood brother. Percy Stays Lit. Shout out if you watching this. Shout out, brother, if you're listening. Percy Stays Lit. And in our little circle, I've always had this many people around me, as in close, that knew me. And we've all had our own talents. And the loss of him was like a ripping out of an aspect of us all. In that day, it shook that. So what I knew was as that day changed, it shook me completely. But once again, I had family there also, strong families. That's been my key. My being is the strong family to say it's okay. Big, real pops to say, son, it's okay. It's okay. Come cry here. Not a lot of gents have that. They have to suppress that thing. They have to now dumb themselves down. Don't do that now because real men don't cry, or whatever the case may be, which is trash. That thing also, once again, my service is a toxic masculinity course where we go through to these. I can regress, not just that day, just to where it started. And then from there, we cleanse the vessel, and then we step into the new you, or the old you who you forgot, or never got the opportunity to express because you had to put up these walls of Gibraltar to protect yourself, unbeknownst to the fact that you're actually damaging yourself further. You're going more and more into turmoil. That's the shadow now. So now I built a shadow on loss. Okay. So I'm not going to lose anything now. I began to hoard more, which is wild. I would I would really like keep people so close and just, I'd be like almost annoying to people who are really enjoyed, so much as to maybe throw them away. Because once again, as above, so below, so great paradoxes. You give that, you'll get this. So, if you want to manifest this, detach. That's why attraction is not attunement. Attunement, you there already. You know it's in your field and it comes because you've detached. Anyway, that's just a little key from my law of attunement. And then the second one was betrayal from a relationship. Betrayal from my second last relationship. I'm not going to mention names once again. However, that day, she had come from a background of missing things where she was lacking. So, for example, I don't want to be politically correct. Give me a second, Mr. Mindpower, so that I don't get blasted. She had like abandonment issues. So that would reflect in everything and every aspect of the relationship because she had not healed that. Similar to me, there were things on my other levels which I had not healed. Remember the loss, I'm also carrying baggage. That's what I call it. We're carrying stones here. And that's why people are hunched over. That's why people are angry. Oh, that's why people's faces are all scrunched up. Your shoulders are up here because you're carrying energetically, which transmutes, because thought form, energy is the basic key form. Then it moves into physical. Then you now start to carry this shit. You're feeling heavy. You're feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world. Atlas. Oh, it's painful. So the betrayal for me, because eventually found out that she was, not eventually found out, my intuition was waking up this time. This was, I can say, about 3 years ago. 4 years. Yeah. And we were actually in the same place together, which was even more wild. There were many experiences that started to happen because of her energy. It was so negative. Things started to manifest themselves. I'll leave it there. Until my spirit, which is something else, and I only understand this now. I'd wake up in puddles of sweat from being attacked by things, man. Poltergeist thing manifesting because of the negative energy that someone holds here. So remember, this is a magnetosphere. So you can call attune to love unconditionally or hate, because it's, once again, as above, so below. The great paradox. So you can literally manifest negativity or attune to negativity, and then those beings that are in those realms can come into the physical. That's why all of these satanic and whatever, it's not about the name of it. It's about what they do. Giving blood, giving nails, giving hair. This is vitality. Giving babies. What? And people are like, no, it doesn't exist. They can conjure up beings. Negative. In the same way we can bring down and ground positivity and higher consciousness. I am grounding extraordinary higher light things. And it's wild. I'm not going to speak on most of them because, once again, they're going to try and lock me up.
Would you say that some of your teachings and your beliefs would actually go back to pre I don't know what the word is, prehistoric times, where humans, that's how humans were living before we actually had technology and the industrial revolution and whatever else that has come into become the new norm, right? And so if we go back to hundreds of years where people were living in the rainforest, or people were living in Africa, and there was no buildings, there was no electricity, there was nothing, and people were connected to the earth.
Yeah, of course. Remember now also, if I haven't told the lovely listeners or watchers, is that I actually astral project, okay, deliberately, because we have, our bodies are not just, hey, let me give it to you like this. You got your network body, so it's your vessels, then you've got your blood body, and you've got your bone body, and you've got your skin body. Then you've got your auras now, your other bodies, etheric bodies, okay? You've got an astral body, which you can will out. You experience it when you have things like you in a dream, lucidly dreaming, liquid lucid, but you realize, or you catch wind of it, either by choice or by spirit intervention. That you have to see this, or you have to experience this. You're there, but you're not there. You can fly, or you jump off a building and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, and you carry on and you start experiencing. I do this deliberately. There's something known as the Akashic Records, which houses every single bit of information. Einstein, Alexander Graham Bell, Nikola Tesla, going back to the Mongolians, going back to this era, whatever they built, pyramids, the Incas, mermaids, Atlantis. Now we're looking at ancient Egypt, Valhalla. We're talking about the Vikings. We're talking everything, every thought form. Remember, energy key is there.
It's in the universe. Yeah, 100%. I believe that too. I believe that all those thoughts, all that information is energy, and it's all around us. It's we have access to it. We have access to it. There's more than just this human experience that you think you're living. But yeah, that's powerful stuff, man. Thanks for sharing that. So, you keep talking about this law of attunement, and prior to me connecting with you, I was more understanding of the law of attraction and the other word, which is being in alignment, but I also did actually talk about being in tune with who you are, being in tune with your direction, being in tune with yourself, right? So you've come in and you're saying, the law of attunement. What is the difference between the law of attunement and being in tune or being in alignment?
Okay. A very beautiful question. I actually spoke to my higher self the other day about this directly. Let me give it to you in 3 parts, 3 stages. As you know, I give things in 3s. Gifts come in 3, whether they're negative or positive. Well, for me, when I'm attuned, well, most of us, just me not aware. Okay? Alignment means perceived here. This is all now grounded in the 3rd dimension, because in higher realms, everything means something else, because there's, once again, different laws to govern that day. For example, the law of attraction in higher realms doesn't exist. That's fake. It's a limiting belief. Wait, let me get there. Alignment. You in places, you find yourself in places where, wow, the right opportunity just came. Oh, 1 or 2. Oh, cool. Oh, I'm aligned with my purpose. And you actually starting to semi-enjoy what you're doing, but you still have resistance, still have limiting beliefs, whatever the case may be. It's the individual, once again, to discern that, okay? You're aligned. Okay, I know I'm in this field. I do this. This is where I'm at. I know myself. I'm aligned. Well, perceived knowing yourself. You don't know higher self, but let's say in this dimension, you know yourself. I'm aligned. Hey, now you now start to law of attract. You are now in that alignment, yes, but you are one step higher, as in you are practicing laws to attract. So whatever those laws are to attract, I'm not going to go back on them. It's not I can't speak heavy on that. However, you know what they are. Boom, do this, and you shall. Only do this and you shall. If you follow God, you will. This only. Whoa, cool. You do get there. Over time, utilizing third dimensional energy, attracting here. Attunement, body, mind, spirit is cleansed, is talking. You're already in alignment. You're already attracting. You are being. You're in a state of being. You liquid, you flowing. All of
Yes.
that is sorted out. What comes in your awareness, what comes in your being is attuned to what you've been doing. That work is beautiful. But also in that day, you do shadow work, attracting. You have to get outside yourself or beside yourself to get inside yourself, and then what you do is you energies, your consumption goes down. So that's programming, whatever it may be. Boom. Eating, it could be eating, it could be what else? It could be what you watch, it could be who you speak to, who you surround yourself with, the relationships, as Mr. Mindpower has mentioned. All of this is programming. You've dropped these things off. You're not Netflixing and chilling 30 hours a week. All of a sudden, you're watching just once, and it's too much now. Everything around your being, body-wise, changes. Spirit, as in the way you give self-love, the way you are aware of self first, that is the spirit aspect. So therefore, other things develop because you're strengthening self. And then you go mind. You've dealt with the traumas, well, you continue to, because healing is ongoing, no matter what levels. I still heal. Luke still heals. No matter how high you are, whatever you think you are, if you believe that you're unhealed or you believe you capped yourself anyway, you've lost the plot. You're now regressing because it's ongoing. As Luke mentioned, I have been continuously practicing my law of attunement. So what I'm saying to you is real time. It's not, oh yeah, but he did, and then now he's doing his other things. Day by day. Zuzu bam zuzu, which is moment in Swahili. Okay? You give gratitude. Because at one stage, remember this, you were begging for that day, asking for that day. Whether it be a phone, whether it be a car, whether it be a place, whether it be that girlfriend, whether it be whatever. At one stage in your Mzuzus, your moments, you were praying for that day. So why hoard it? Why not let it go with unconditional love? As soon as you let things go with unconditional love, guess what comes in? You have air, room, space to attune to that day which you truly not just deserve, but is your soul's purpose, desire, and your heaven on earth. It is attunement.
Yeah, man. Powerful stuff, bro. Appreciate that, man. I love it. I love your energy, man. It's incredible. You really inspire myself and everybody that I'm sure connects with you. There was one moment a few weeks ago that I experienced a massive shift in my own awareness, confidence, consciousness. And I was really, really searching and seeking for someone to listen to me. I was really hurting. I was in a lot of pain. And the natural reaction that I would have is to call someone, is to reach out, is to try to get someone to talk to. And that's what we mostly do in our lives, right? When you're feeling bad, when something's gone wrong, you can't sit with yourself. You need to call someone so you can tell them about what it is that what's going on in your life, so that then you can feel better because somebody understands you, right? And so I was going through this experience, and I was really stressed. I was emotional. I was hurt. And there I was walking up the street, and I was ringing a friend, ringing another friend, ringing someone else, and everybody was not answering the phone. And I was thinking to myself, damn it, like I need to speak to someone. And at the same time, I realized that the universe was talking to me. And then I went on Instagram and I listened to a message from Lex. And I sent him something about what I was doing. And he replied to me, because this was just a few days after the 72-hour full moon water fast. And he said to me, that's why I'm so full. And as I'm speaking right now, Lex, it's 4:44 p.m. This is incredible, powerful moment right here. And so while I'm listening
time,
to, while I'm listening to Lex's voice note on my Instagram, he mentioned something and he said, when I need to step back and recharge, that's why I'm so high vibrational. That's why I'm so powerful when I'm connected and when I'm projecting my energy to whatever it is that I'm doing, if it's your social media or your videos or your content or whatever, or your activeness, it's because you've taken the time continuously to step back into your power and to fill your cup. And when you mentioned that to me, you hit me at the right moment, because I realized that I needed me. I needed to sit with me. I didn't need anybody else to make me feel enough or to make me feel heard or to make me feel worthy. I needed to sit with me. I needed to actually communicate with myself in that moment. And that's what I did. I started to communicate with myself. I started to understand myself. I started to study myself. I started to actualize the energy and the emotion that I was feeling. And in order, what happened there was I started to heal. But it was just a powerful moment for me, because I realized that I no longer needed anyone to make me feel that what I was dealing with was valid. I realized that I'd actually been unconsciously codependent. And so from that point on, what happened was I started to validate myself. I started to acknowledge myself. I started to really honor myself and be more aware of where I give my energy and when I'm seeking that validation, when I don't actually need it. It's an unconditional love that I would call my friend to have a conversation with him, because I want to let him know what's going on in my life and he wants to tell me about what's happening in his life. It's not about, I have something that I'm dealing with and I need you to hear me because I need you to validate that what I'm doing is the right thing. And a lot of the times we do that unconsciously because we want people to believe in us. We want to feel that we are doing the right thing. And it also is the ego. It feeds the ego because, it's like that person says, yeah, man, you're doing the right thing. Yeah, it's really good. And then you feel good about yourself. And so this is a powerful moment, man. So I just wanted to mention that, bro, because it really helped me. It really transformed my awareness, my consciousness, my confidence. And it's powerful stuff because I still practice it every single day of self-validation, and this is a part of the reparenting progress and process that I am living through, because I've made the conscious decision that it's not anybody else's responsibility to reparent me, to help me heal. It's up to me. So powerful stuff, man. I really appreciate it. And I just want to acknowledge you for your time, your energy, everything that you have expressed in this podcast, in this interview. I know that everybody that listens to this is going to be inspired. I hope that they will follow you as well. Lex Stays Liquid on Instagram. But I just want to ask you one more question. How do you want to change the world, man?
Oh, lukemindpower, saving the bomb for last. Are you mad, sir? You're going to put that Atlas, I'm Atlas now holding. Wait, it's a very good question. I've always had, because now I told you I know who I am. Spirit, my spirit is someone else. My past lives are very significant because I've dived into them. You'll be very shocked. But you won't, Luke, but everyone else. But I'm not going to disclose that now. A recent past life. And I started that then. This is peace movement, unity consciousness, pushing it through music, but not just music. Now I've learned those lessons. So I'm here to assist willing beings in ascending their own spirit selves throughout this dimension, within this vessel of theirs, in the next dimension, so high, because it becomes another form. Those who are a civilization will cease to be seen. It's going to happen. However, I'm in a position where I can awaken beings to their own divinity, and that we don't need systems, we don't need constructs, we do not need anything. I don't need anything. I desire, I have purpose, this is divinity, because with this there, you're endless. Such a spirit incarnate, which is what we are. We are endless. We do not end. Energy does not end. Energy transmutes, whether that be negative, perceived positive. Once again, energy is energy. Whatever you do with it will make it positive or negative. Okay? So I would like to just bestow seeds of what I'm getting from higher places in such a way that is relatable, it's understandable, it's understandable after you understand it. Because when you understand, you relate it to yourself, and therefore you get it from here and there. When you're looking at the information from this objective perspective, you're able to just let it pass. You are pointing, ego's got these whole. So this is what I seek to do. Let's dissolve ego. Already, what we've been told in life is lies. Go inside and you will be able to discern. I'm not here to tell you what is a lie and what's not. That's not the purpose of higher ascension. It's not to tell you what to do. That's also what I jousted with, a part of my lessons. I have been, I won't say hate because that's a strong spell. I don't hate anything. I've disliked the most authorities because they direct your narrative. Go there now, move now. Don't tell me when to move when. That for me has been, so that has also been part of my being, questioning everything. It's been like, but why now? Why now this time? Why is it in between this period? You know, once again, we're all different beings. And when you dissolve all of these things, we are able to be truly ourselves. We're able to step into the new. The fifth dimension is here now. Mr. Lukemindpower stepped into it. Your eyesight begins to change. You begin to see colors more vividly. They begin to burst out. Your energy changes. You begin to have your ego telling you what it is. Who said it's insomnia? Stop. You just don't have that cleansed vessel to actually hear yourself. Everything that's in my being, in your being, eventually when you begin to absorb these teachings in your own way, once again, not one size fits all. It's seeds. So whether you grow these beans into what Jack did and made a beanstalk, or you just grow little trees, you have growth. So my purpose is evolution, to evolve us all while I am evolving.
Lex, you're a phenomenon. You're a phenomenal human. I appreciate you, man. You're a blessing to this universe. You're unrepeatable, man. And the amount of power that you have just given us is incredible. So thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Mindpower. And thank you to everybody. Appreciate you guys. And please follow Mr. Lukemindpower. Follow the likes of myself. If we resonate, not everyone will resonate to everything. So that's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, please
find yourself.
let everyone know where they can find you.
Oh yes, on Lex Stays Liquid. This is on Instagram. LIQUID Stays Liquid. Lex Stays Liquid on Facebook. That's a page. I've got my personal page, which you'll probably find there, depending. And I've got a podcast. If you go onto my Facebook page as well as my Instagram, you have the link tree to the plethora of beautiful content. I have some videos I'm dropping now. For example, if I can give you quickly, this is what a crazy man does. This is what crazy looks like.
Amazing.
This is what planning looks like. This is what craziness actually looks like.
That's good. You know,
this is just.
I'm going to put all of your info on the show notes, man, and everybody will have access to it, man. So look forward to it, and peace out, bro. I really appreciate it, man. It's been amazing.
Much love, Mr. Mind Power. Appreciate you, and gratitude and blessings to all.